Hello, grade nines. Today I'll be analysing the poem Where the Rainbow Ends together. Hopefully by now you've got some good research that you have done on your own. Let's look at the poet, Richard Rive. Richard Rive was born on 1 March 1931 in Cape Town, and he grew up in District 6, which was a coloured or mixed race area under apartheid. If you know a bit about South African history, you would know that District 6 suffered under the Group Areas Act, where coloured and mixed race people were forced to leave during apartheid. With the aid of a scholarship, Rive attended high school in Cape Town and studied at the University of Cape Town, where he graduated in 1949. He then trained as a teacher and taught at the Hewitt Training College and at a high school in Cape Town. In 1962, he then travelled extensively throughout Africa and Europe while teaching and lecturing. Rive's short stories, which were dominated by the ironies and oppression of apartheid and by the degradation of slum life, have been extensively anthologized and translated into more than a dozen languages. He was considered to be one of South Africa's most important short story writers. One of his more famous novels, The Buckingham Palace, where he looked at the life of people living in District 6 and how they were forced to leave under the apartheid regime. So what we can gather from his history and his life is that this had a direct influence on his writing. And this poem in particular, Where the Rainbow Ends, looked at life during apartheid, but more specifically, it looks at how we're going to move out of apartheid. How's life going to look after 1990 or 1994? And how are we going to be united? Let's read the poem together again. Where the Rainbow Ends. Where the rainbow ends, there's going to be a place, brother, where the world can sing all sorts of songs. And we're going to sing together, brother, you and I, though you are white and I'm not. It's going to be a sad song, brother, because we don't know the tune, and it's a difficult tune to learn. But we can learn, brother, you and I. There's no such tune as a black tune. There's no such tune as a white tune. There's only music, brother, and it's music we're going to sing where the rainbow ends. So what is the rainbow? The poem is specifically South African because South Africa is often referred to as the Rainbow Nation. So it's taken from the idea of this multicultural nation that we all live in, specifically after the end of apartheid. South Africa is made up of different races, cultures, and religions, and this is something that we all celebrate. A rainbow cannot be beautiful with only one color. It just simply won't be a rainbow. South Africans make up an array of colors. This concept is also linked to the theme of music in the poem. We cannot all be singing different tunes to make up one song. South Africans all need to have the same tune to make up really good music. So the idea of using music in this poem is that we can't each be singing to our own tunes. We've got to actually work together and make one beautiful piece of music. Let's look at the first 3 lines. Where the rainbow ends, there's going to be a place, brother, where the world can sing all sorts of songs. So the first line, where the rainbow ends, you've got to ask yourself, what do we associate with the end of a rainbow? And often you would think, okay, a pot of gold. This could imply that something good is waiting for us at the end of this rainbow. It's a place of fulfillment or achievement. So Rive keeps speaking about what will be at the end of this rainbow. What will happen when we go into the new South Africa after the collapse of apartheid? There's going to be a place, brother. So the going to be, this then sees it as a guarantee. So after apartheid ends, there will be something. There is this guarantee of something happening. And it's a place where the world can sing all sorts of songs. Once again, the place touches onto the idea of what's at the end of the rainbow, this pot of gold. It's a place of fulfillment or achievement. And then brother, you'll see after reading through the poem, he repeats the term brother many times. And when calling someone brother, you're implying that it is someone close to you or someone that you trust. This could be someone who is like you, similar to you, someone that you agree with. Okay, but it's a friendly term. where the world can sing all sorts of songs. So here, the idea of songs are written and sung in response to things, events, what have happened. So if you think about most music that we listen to, it's because of an event that has happened or an emotion that has been felt that the songwriter has written the song because of that. In this case, the song will be a sad song, which we learn in line 6, resembling that they will think of an event that happened in a sad way, which is obviously apartheid. Notice the alliteration, sing, sorts, and songs. Let's have a look at the next 2 lines. And we're going to sing together, brother. You'll notice brother again. The tone here in lines 1 to 5 is of hope. Okay, so there's sort of this positivity that comes through in the first few lines. The word together shows unity. Okay, so all races. And then brother, once again repeated. You and I, okay, the unity. And the brother he's speaking of is his fellow white South African. Okay, so now we know that he's speaking to the opposite race, a race that wasn't allowed to be together during apartheid. But then look at words like together and you and I. This really shows this coming together, this unity that happens between the different races. It emphasizes his desire for unity amongst white and black South Africans. So we know that he looks forward to South Africa where the different races get along after apartheid. Also, if we look at these 2 lines, Richard Rive, who is a colored man, was evicted from his home in Cape Town by the Group Areas Act, which was District 6. And this act was implemented by the white apartheid government. So he was forcefully removed from his home. And if you read his novel, Buckingham Palace, this tells of the story of the people who lived in District 6 and how they came about to be removed from the area. He still wants to be united with the white people, even after this devastating event that has happened to him, despite how they treated him, his family, and his community. Let's have a look at the next 3 lines. Yeah, the tone for lines 6 to 8 is sadness and disappointment. So there's a shift now in the tone from hope, this upbeat, to almost a sense of realization. But hang on, how are we going to do this? How are we going to get along and make it work? These 3 lines consider music. So this is the introduction of music, really. And you'll see the word tune being repeated. A tune is a sequence of sounds put together to make up something. A sound that is catchy and specific to a song. A tune has no words. But what's important here is that it's a sequence of sounds that works together to make something beautiful. And obviously the sounds or the tunes don't work together, then the sound won't be any good. So the song that the black and white South Africans are going to sing will be sad because both black and white South Africans don't actually know each other's ways. So they're going to have to learn to get to know each other. They'll have to learn to live with each other. So they'll probably find this difficult, and they're going to have to make one tune, even though it will be difficult. Okay, as they are not used to being combined. So the idea of each person or each race having its own tune isn't normally combined because of what happened during apartheid, but now it will have to be under the new government. Look at sad song. So it emphasizes the tone of sadness and disappointment. Okay, in lines 9 to 11, yeah, the tone once again is hope and determination. So it changes again to something a bit more positive. But so we see the change immediately. South Africans, all races, can learn to sing the same song united as one nation. It is something that we'll all need to practice, and it won't be easy at the beginning. Okay, so it's something that needs to intentionally happen. All the different races have to make the decision to get along. And obviously we'll have a choir of mixed races, of mixed backgrounds, religion and faith, okay, that will sing one song together, one tune together. Notice you and I, once again, this shows unity. And then he speaks about no such tune as a black tune, no such tune as a white tune. So we don't have separate tunes, we have one tune. So South Africans should not have their own tunes. And Richard Rive goes as far as to say that there are no tunes for each race. Each of us should not have our own agenda. So yeah, he really emphasizes unity and he puts a lot of focus on this. Specifically, no such tune as black, no such tune as white. Why do you think he found it important to mention it twice, but obviously once the first line black tune and then white tune? What impact does this have? And over here, the music, once again, shows unity. We're making music together. Notice brother being repeated again. There's only music, brother. So we should purely be concerned about producing music and not just a tune. A tune becomes so much more when combined with lyrics and melody. So when we put some effort into this tune, it actually becomes a beautiful piece of music. The word music and going to, okay, once again, a guarantee. This will happen. Where the rainbow ends, okay, it's firstly repeated. And this line is repeated to emphasize that the struggle will end and our goals of unity will be achieved. All South Africans will sing the same song and not their own tunes, own different tunes. So this is really the message of the poem, what Richard Rive wants people to realize. And I hope you enjoyed that poem. So after this, you're going to then go and check your notes and use this video. You're going to have to stop and pause it to add notes to your poem that you started with yesterday, and then complete the questions for this poem, and then we'll mark it tomorrow.